Welcome to Consultier Inc. and Interlink IQ. To conduct a document review utilizing the Staff Amenities Program under the SQF Module 11.3.5, first check if the document title matches the uploaded file name on the dashboard. In this instance, we do have the same titles as the Staff Amenities Program. Next, both must have the same document code. For this example, we do have 11.3.5P0. Since this is a template, we indicate the PCQI as the account initials. However, we can customize the code based on the company's initials. For the page number, we use the page X of Y format, ensure that it reflects the current page position and the total page number of the document. Then insert the company logo here, together with the company name, the company address, and enter the designated department. For the originated by section, it can be the food safety, quality assurance, or the quality control personnel of the company. The originator ensures the implementation of the quality management and document control system. Enter the name of the originator, affix the signature, input the position title, and the date originated. For the reviewed by section, it can be the personnel assigned in the Quality Management Department who reviews the drafted document or its revision for accuracy and implementation. Enter the name of the reviewer, affix the signature, input the position title, and the date reviewed. For the approved by section, it must be the person in the C-level management who has approval authority. Enter the name of the approver, affix the signature, input the position title, and the date approved. The revision date is the same as the date originated or drafted by the author. For the effective date, it is the date the document was signed and approved. The publication date is when the document is published for distribution and initiated personnel training. The implementation date is when the document is distributed and personnel training is completed. For the supersedes, put original for the initial issuance of the document. For any revisions, reflect the initial revision date before the current revision. Please be reminded that this section must be properly filled out to be compliant. Now we will focus on the components of the program. First is purpose. The purpose is the implementation of any certification standard or compliance with a regulatory requirement. For this program, it is for implementation with the SQF Module 11 Edition 9 for food manufacturing under Class 11.3.5. First, to implement SQF 11.3.5.1, staff amenities shall have documented cleaning procedures, be supplied with appropriate lighting and ventilation, and shall be made available for use by all persons engaged in the handling and processing of product. Second, to implement SQF 11.3.5.2, change rooms shall be provided to enable staff and visitors to change into and out of protective clothing as required. Change rooms shall be kept clean. Third, to implement SQF 11.3.5.3, high-risk change areas shall be provided for staff engaged in the processing of high-risk foods or processing operations in which clothing can be soiled. Fourth, to implement SQF 11.3.5.4, provisions shall be made for staff to store their street clothing and personal items separate from clean uniforms, food contact zones, food, and packaging storage areas. Fifth, to implement SQF 11.3.5.5, where required, a sufficient number of showers shall be provided for use by staff. Sixth, to implement SQF 11.3.5.6, toilet rooms shall be 1. Designed and constructed so that they are accessible to staff and separate from any processing and food handling operations. 2. Accessed from the processing area via an air block vented to the exterior or through an adjoining room. 3. Sufficient in number for the maximum number of staff. 4. Constructed so that they can be easily cleaned and maintained. 5. Located inside or nearby areas for storing protective clothing, outer garments, and other items while using the facilities. And 6. Kept clean and tidy. Tools or equipment used for cleaning toilet rooms shall not be used to clean processing areas. 7th, to implement SQF 11.3.5.7, sanitary drainages shall not be connected to any other drains within the premises and shall be directed to a septic tank or a sewerage system in accordance with regulations. 8th, to implement SQF 11.3.5.8, hand washing basins shall be provided immediately outside or inside the toilet room and designed as outlined in 11.3.2.3. 9th, to implement SQF 11.3.5.9, separate break rooms shall be provided away from food contact or handling zones. Break rooms shall be 1. Ventilated and well lit. 2. Provided with adequate tables and seating to cater for the maximum number of staff at one sitting. 3. Equipped with a sink serviced with hot and cold potable water for washing utensils. 4th, equipped with refrigeration and heating facilities, enabling staff to store or heat food and to prepare non-alcoholic beverages if required. And 5, kept clean and free from waste materials and pests. 10th, to implement SQF 11.3.5.10, where outside eating areas are provided, they should be kept clean and free from waste materials and maintained in a manner that minimizes the potential for the introduction of contamination, including pests, to the site. The second component of the program is scope. The scope of the program is based on the purpose and serves as a guide in defining and describing the layout of the procedure. It includes staff amenities, locker room, laundry area, sanitary facilities, and lunchroom or break room. Third is policy. The policies are the rules set by the company as their implementation guide. First, provide a designated area for employee and visitor garments and personal items. Second, in high-risk areas or facilities where clothing can be heavily soiled, provision is made for the laundering of uniforms. Third, sufficient restrooms or toilets are required to accommodate the number of staff. Their location and design is such that they do not cause a contamination risk to product, food contact surfaces, areas where product is exposed, or to food handlers. And fourth, employees, contractors, and visitors are not permitted to eat or drink in food handling areas. Designated lunchrooms are available for staff to take breaks and eat meals. These areas are physically separated from food handling areas. The fourth component of the program is procedure. The procedure is the step-by-step process and the actual implementation of the policy. First is staff amenities. Provide adequate lunchroom and restroom facilities as appropriate for the number of employees in the operation based on applicable legislation relevant to the commodity being processed. Provide amenities that have adequate lighting and ventilation. Keep maintained to set an example of clean and orderly food sanitation and housekeeping requirements. Second is locker room. Locker room is provided with lockers for staff and visitors when they are required to change from street clothing to protective clothing to enter the facility. The areas are designed so materials and personal items cannot be stored on top of the lockers. The area around and under lockers, if not fully sealed, must enable easy cleaning. It is generally recommended that lockers be fitted flush with the ceiling and placed on stands raised off the floor to allow for ease of cleaning. Locker rooms are provided commensurate with the type of operation and the number of employees. Locker rooms are designed to avoid storage on top of lockers and ease of cleaning. There are facilities for staff to secure personal items. Third under procedure is laundry area. The laundry area is not available. The employees are using disposable PPEs like hairnet, apron, gloves, etc. Next is sanitary facilities. Under that is restroom or toilets. Restrooms are properly located and are not open directly into the processing area. In existing facilities where they are in close proximity to areas where product is exposed, an airlock vented to the exterior are maintained. Staff enter toilet rooms from processing areas through either an intervening change room or airlock, which is ventilated to external air. Where exhaust fans are fitted, fans are exhausted to the outside and not into a food production area. The light and exhaust fan can be interwired to create negative pressure as an option, or the light and exhaust fan can be left on continuously. To eliminate the risk of airflow from restrooms into the processing room, exhaust fan off switches are on timer delay. The light and exhaust fan are on a single switch located on the outside of the restroom. Separate toilet rooms are provided for each gender and are typically located adjacent to and separate from the change room. The number of toilet cubicles to be provided depends on the number of staff, or is based on applicable legislation. Suppliers are aware of local legislation, but as a guide, for 1 to 15 persons of the same sex, there should be one number of bowls. For 16 to 35 persons of the same sex, that's equals to 2 bowls. For 36 to 55 persons of the same sex, that's equals to 3 bowls. 56 to 80 persons of the same sex is equals to 4 bowls. For more than 80, for each additional 30 persons, there should be one additional bowl. In male toilets, urinals can substitute for up to 1/3 of the total number of bowls. Employee restrooms is properly equipped with hand wash facilities. Hands-free taps are preferred, particularly in high-risk facilities, and include those that can be operated by foot, knee or elbow, or turned on or off via electronic sensing devices, which we refer to hand washing program. Signage consists solely of icons, such as those published by the International Association for Food Protection. To accomplish these requirements, with exception of restroom signage, where other regulatory requirements are applied. Sanitary drainage is kept separate from drainage from food production areas. Fifth, under procedure, is lunchroom or break room. Additional outdoor lunchroom facilities where they do not pose a dust or pest hazard to the operational area of the site are provided. Covered facilities and sealed paths are one way to address hazards. Where hazards presented by such facilities are minimal, an alternative control such as routine cleaning of tables and steps to minimize dust on non-sealed paths are employed. The site facility is equipped with a ventilated and well-lit lunch or break room for employees. The room is equipped with a sink, serviced with hot and cold potable water, a refrigerator, and a microwave. The area is kept clean. Fifth is responsibility. The responsibility of the person is indicated. It covers what to perform to comply with the procedure or the policy. For all personnel, shall adhere to this policy. For the PCQI or Preventative Control Qualified Individual, visually inspect areas for compliance of this policy. Oversee compliance of procedure. Ensure personnel are trained on this policy and procedures. And monitor and take corrective action to ensure compliance of this policy. The supervisors or department heads and team leaders are responsible to ensure and verify this policy and procedure is adhered to, and take corrective action to ensure compliance of this policy. For the quality control personnel, validate training and adherence to policy and procedure, and monitor and document nonconformance observation, also known as discrepancy, using corrective action, preventive action, or the CAPA report. And for the quality or compliance department, document control, records, and archive. The sixth component of the program is corrective action. The corrective action is the process of taking appropriate steps to eliminate causes of nonconformities or other undesirable situations. Train all personnel on this policy and reference SSOPs. And noncompliance will require retraining or dismissal from job duties or termination of employment. Seventh is review quality. The review section serves as guidelines for conducting the annual or periodic review. Amenities are provided commensurate with the type of operation and the number of employees. Amenities are available for all employees who handle product. Staff amenities have adequate lighting. Staff amenities have adequate ventilation. Locker room are provided commensurate with the type of operation and the number of employees. Locker room are available for all employees who work in high-risk areas. Locker room are designed to avoid storage on top of lockers and ease of cleaning. There are sufficient showers for staff working in high-risk areas or areas where clothing can become heavily soiled. There are facilities for staff to secure personal items. Provision is made for laundering of protective clothing worn by staff. Provision is made for laundering of uniforms of staff working in high-risk areas. Sufficient number of clean, laundered uniforms are available. There are sufficient toilets available for each gender and the number of employees. Toilets do not open directly into processing areas. Toilets can be easily cleaned. Toilets are clean and tidy. Sufficient hand wash basins are available near the toilets. Sanitary drainage is separated from processing site drains. Separate lunch facilities are provided. Lunchroom facilities are adequate for the number of staff. Lunch facilities are separated from processing, product storage, or handling areas. Lunchroom facilities are properly ventilated. Lunchroom facilities are well lit. Lunchroom facilities include a sink with hot and cold running water. Lunchroom facilities are clean and tidy. Proper heating or cooling facilities are provided in lunch facilities. Hand wash signage is available at the exit of lunch facilities. And hand wash signage at the exit of lunch facilities is in appropriate languages. Eighth is reference documents. The reference documents are the set of documents used to implement and monitor a program, policy, or procedure. It includes cleaning and sanitation program, hand washing program, and ventilation program. Ninth is references. The reference section is composed of guides utilized to implement the program. Examples are the certification guide, regulations, and other widely accepted scientific journals, research, and the like. It must comply with the standard format citation, which can be based on either MLA, APA, or Chicago style, and update the access date. Lastly, history. The history section is where we can update the program if there are any changes or revisions made in the document. If there is a revision, enter the revision number, followed by the revision date, the description of the change made, then the name of the author or the originator, and the title or department of the author or the originator. Thank you for participating in this document review. Content presented are for training purposes only and are based on the interpretation of standards and best practices and must be customized for your intended use. To fully customize your programs, policies, procedures, forms for records, and lessons for training, you may contact Interlink IQ or Consultier Inc. at services@interlinkiq.com, or you may call 202-982-3002. For free access, visit interlinkiq.com.